Anguillara, a small town in history. Anguillara Sabazia is on the southeastern shore of Lake Bracciano, built on a promontory over the lake, where its picturesque medieval profile is clearly in view. Actually, its history goes very far back. 4 main periods, beginning with a Stone Age settlement at La Marmotta, then the Roman, medieval, and Renaissance. A walk through the historic center gives us a sense of these periods. We begin our visit by going through the town gate with its medieval fortifications on either side, modified during the Renaissance. The gate was built during the 1500s, attributed to Giacomo del Duca. The Orsini coat of arms is above the door and the town clock at the top. The round stone was to mark the Orsini accession from the Anguillara family in 1496. The year when Gentile Virginio Orsini purchased the fiefdom. The coat of arms represents a bear in the act of devouring an eel. The clock is dated 1700. Anguillara was a town of towers. Few vestiges remained through their foundations, and by a 15th century fresco in the castle at Bracciano. The only remaining tower is the so-called medieval torrione, reworked during the Renaissance. We pass through the town gate and into the main street, built during the 1500s during the time of the construction of the baronial palace for Gentile Virginio Orsini Jr. The main street, a straight line from the church at the top to the town gate at the bottom, served as a solemn entrance to the palace. (1496 to 1548) was a period of great splendor for Anguillara. Time when Carlo and Gentile Virginio Orsini commissioned the painting of frescoes in the palace. Another example of Roman times can be seen in a small tunnel, Via della Crunarella, opening into the main street. Still remaining is a section showing the Roman technique of wall construction known as opus reticulatum. The wall was part of a villa of a noblewoman of the 1st century, Rutilia Polla. Her villa was called Anguillaria, from which the name of the town is derived and on which the town was built.
Every summer sun, every winter evening, every spring to come, every autumn evening, you don't need a reason, let it all go on and on.
Also, the ruin known as Le Mura di Santo Stefano, meaning the walls of St. Stephen, was first a Roman villa, then a medieval convent. One of the oldest churches is San Biagio, finished in 1765, when the main church was still being constructed. 2 medieval churches in the center are no longer standing. Only a piece of wall remains for St. Salvatore, and only the apse for St. Andrea. Outside the historic center are 2 rural churches, Madonna delle Grazie of 1700 and the tiny church of the Holy Trinity. To pay for its construction, the populace donated sacks of grain. Finally, the frescoed church and convent of San Francesco of 1400, of great importance and recently restored. While walking through the alleys, you can occasionally observe above the doors of houses a decoration in the form of a rose, a symbol of the Orsini family. The inhabitants often were not aware of the historic significance of these decorations and destroyed them. In the alley called Gli Arcacci, the first hospital of Anguillara was located. The piazza of great importance to the town was Piazza del Lavatoio, meaning washing place, where the women did the laundry. Unfortunately, it was demolished and is now headquarters of the Red Cross. The main square in town is Piazza del Comune, the municipality. Over the centuries, it's had many transformations. On the left of the piazza is the Belvedere, decorated by the eel fountain, designed by the sculptor Giacometti. The baronial palace of 1500, now seat of the municipality, was modified drastically in the 1800s. The glassed-in arches were a loggia. Frescoes decorating the rooms were recently uncovered and restored. Going up the main street and coming to the end at the top is the town church, La Collegiata, currently being restored. The design is 15th century, with the facade by Antonio Giacometti in the 1800s. The main building in Anguillara is the baronial palace, now containing offices of the municipality, containing 3 important chambers. The council chamber is decorated with frescoes by painters who also worked in the Vatican. Giulio Romano is the attributed painter of the Nereids and Tritons, decorations similar to those of Mantova. The theme of water runs through the frescoes, as Gentile Virginio Orsini Jr., who commissioned them, was admiral of the pontifical fleet. 2 paintings are of significance as documents. The first represents the port of Naples before 1537, that is, before the city was enlarged during the second half of 1500. The second is of Venice, but due to humidity, it's practically illegible. During the 1800s, this room was separated with a wall and a false door. The second chamber, known as the Chamber of the Little Bears, with decorations of children playing with small bears and a frieze of roses symbolizing the Orsini coat of arms. The chamber of the Loggia, overlooking the Piazza del Comune, with frescoes of the historic battles of Corfu and La Goletta. Gentile Virginio Orsini, as admiral of the pontifical fleet, conquered the Turks in these battles. The positioning of the ships in the Goletta battle scene is considered to be exact. Most probably the painter followed indications given by someone who had actually been in the battle. Other paintings are floral, coats of arms, and mythological scenes. Gentile Virginio Orsini is portrayed in peasant clothes. Seated on a wine barrel, the figure is perhaps an allegory of autumn.